Hello, shooters, lovers, and casters. Welcome to the Georgia Shooting Connection Friday night live stream. I'm a little bit under the weather. Walter is having internet issues, so he'll probably be in the side chat in a little bit. And it's a bad time because he's the one that wanted me to do this Psalm 2 keep going thing. So we'll be looking for Walter. Y'all go through the room. Tell us how your week was. I've got to get some water and get myself ready to be acceptable because it's been a tough week around here, but we'll get into that later if we want to, and not, that's fine. I've got this head cold, so I've got to have water. CW, how was your week?
Sorry to hear about your feelings there, Jamie. I know what went on, and you know I've got your prayers, so we'll talk about that later. My week was pretty good. Had to stay inside. It's been cold. We've had negative numbers every morning. And this morning was almost 9. Tomorrow is supposed to be the coldest of the week. And they said it was going to be about 5, but this morning was 9. So we're holding on tight for what tomorrow morning brings. But it didn't get to 10 degrees today here. We had snow about every day this week. No real accumulations, but snowed every day. We got about, about 16, 18 inches on the ground in most places. Can't get to the range. I was over there Thursday night for a meeting, and you can't get on the range. You need snowshoes to get out to change targets anyway.
Dang.
You could fall through, and who knows where you'd end up. But been to the gun stores, picked up a few things. I got the credit card out, and I bought a new red dot, green dot. Came in today.
Nice.
A couple of projects on the table. So fun stuff coming up ahead. Made a couple of videos. Did some reloading. Everybody's healthy here. No colds, so that's good. What about you there, Hillbilly? How was your week? How's your weather? How you feeling? How's everybody doing?
Oh man, cold, and we had lots of snow. We did luck out and get 2 days. Just above freezing, not much, but the sun popped out one of those days, and so things had kind of melted off, and the snow had kind of shrunk down some. But like where everybody was driving, it was packed down. It didn't do much for that, and then of course it just glazed back over, so it's slicker than it ever was. And so I believe we're. When I looked earlier today, the forecast for tonight's 4 degrees with wind chill way below 0. And we got I think 2 or 3 more days that, we might get highs in the 20s, if that. And so, yeah, just been staying in a lot, burning a lot of firewood, making some, chili and soups and stuff like that, and so. Anyway, yeah, we've been doing all right. Not got to really get out to the range at all. Been doing, a few videos inside. But all in all, man, it's, I feel thankful, though, regardless. So, Rebel, how's your week, buddy?
Cold, icy, slick. And we didn't open on Tuesday. We opened on Wednesday. So we lost a day of business there. We sat in there Wednesday, and North Carolina's a peculiar place. It's like any other southern state. You get ice on the ground, and people forget about anything but bread, milk, and eggs. And that's the truth. It's retarded. It really is. There's something wrong with folks. And they cleaned out the grocery store, and my wife went in to get me some orange juice and some more Jimmy Dean sausage, and she was like, "Holy crap, Mike, you wouldn't believe it." She said, "And they all buy stuff that'll spoil." I said, "I know. I mean, why not get beer and beef jerky? You could throw the beer outside, keep it cold. Not if you're CW, because his beer would freeze. But and then the beef jerky will last forever. Of course, you probably need a heart transplant by the time the storm's over with." Anyway, We've had good melting here all week. It's the best job I think I've ever seen the DOT, North Carolina DOT, do on the roads. They even got salt on icy spots back here in the wilderness where I live. And now we're expecting as much as 7 inches of snow tomorrow. So, and I didn't see any salt trucks today. That's typical North Carolina DOT though. They prepare for one storm. Hey, look at us. We did a good job. The next storm, they suck on. So
because they already used all their stuff.
Yeah. Well, no, they're supposed to have plenty of stuff. That was reported on the news. We'll see if they use it, you know. So anyway, like Hillbilly predicted, super cold temperatures after the snow, and it's going to be rough. It's going to be rough. I'm thinking about bringing the chickens inside. If I could make them wear diapers, I would.
I was going to say, you're going to bring them inside, keep them warm.
Mm-hmm.
You know, probably about 350 degrees.
Yeah. That's right.
We used to just take a light bulb, put it out there, and put a clay pot over it.
Yeah.
Jack it up off the ground so you get airflow, and it would radiate enough heat, and they would be fine.
Mine's so far away from the house. I don't want to run 150 foot of drop cord out there, you know. So I don't even know that I have 150 foot of drop cord. But right now they're being pretty hardy. Their water's frozen. I walked out there and said, "You guys want some water?" Like it, they picked holes all the way down to the bottom of the water bin, eating ice. You know, so pretty hardy fowl. You know, I give them credit for that. I like my chickens. They give me lots of eggs. Not right now though. But anyway, Kyle, you go.
Well, typical thing, just like everybody else, getting ready for another Arctic blast. The last storm was nothing. It barely rained. And, of course, everybody went crazy buying everything they could get their hands on. Now they've all returned it, and now they're getting ready to buy it again. You know, whatever. Just crazy people. We've been doing some work around the house, changing this, fixing that, installing this, that kind of stuff. Staying busy, you know, going back and forth to work, just like always. They're calling for snow flurries, but I don't even think it's going to do that. East of here, they're looking at some snow, but it ain't going to make it over here.
Yeah.
Other than that, everything's just all well and good. We're just staying busy and playing with the dogs. Bama, what about you, buddy?
Oh, not much. I'm still getting over the back problem. I'll tell you what, I felt like a stray dog that everybody likes to kick.
You'll have those days, that's for sure.
Yeah, it's been rough, but I'm coming out of it now finally. So, and you know, just as the weather gets warm, I guess you couldn't. When it's that cold, you might as well just sit at home and lay on your back. And I didn't miss nothing.
No, you didn't.
Other than that, nothing a whole lot.
My back doesn't hurt as bad, Bama, because my knees are killing me. And CW knows what this is. This big old ice pack. And my alleged good knee is starting to hurt now for favoring that leg, you know?
Yes, sir.
So I'm just trading it back and forth, icing it. And kind of makes you wish you were a dope head, you know? You wouldn't care about it, but I ain't that, you know?
No.
Walter had to chime in and say it was 79 degrees at his house today.
Shut up.
As he rides down the Pacific Coast Highway looking at the ocean.
I'm telling you, it's gorgeous out there. I know why he lives there. I just don't agree with the politics.
Politicians be darned.
It is 39 degrees here right now and racing into the 20s.
Let's see, because I'm a little bit ahead of you. It is 30 degrees here right now and racing into God knows where.
Racing into the teens, easy.
Yeah.
My thermometer says it's 40 outside.
Just
we're
wait.
close.
Just wait.
Oh,
Yeah, they say by tomorrow night about 7 o'clock, it's going to be damn cold and 30-mile-an-hour winds.
Yeah.
Mine says 2.
Yeah, I saw that. He showed that thermometer this morning. First thing this morning. I mean, it's just sun is just breaking over the horizon, and CW sends me a picture, and I looked at that thermometer, and I went, God Almighty! If I could
thing's broke.
if I could just stick my knees outside and then have a little insulated envelope where nothing else, just leave them out there for 15 minutes and pull them back in. You know.
Central Illinois. Ozzy, where is Central Illinois? Decatur?
It's most usually right between the east and the west and north and south, I think.
I got a lot of friends and ex-family members that are from Decatur. And if you take a map of Illinois, fold it in half north and south, and fold it in half east and west, within 3 miles of where those meet is Decatur. So that's
Yeah. Well, one thing about Decatur, even if you're just driving by it, you can smell it. That soybeans up there at factory, or where they do the soybeans, oh my gosh, it stinks so bad.
Bunch of soybeans, bunch of corn. ADM is king up there.
Holy.
We grow them and send them up there to y'all.
No, they grow their fair share of them, Rebel.
Oh, I'm sure.
If it was corn last year, it's soybeans this year.
Well, see, now the farmers around here, what they've got to doing is, and I had to, the farmer that was doing my property, his dad died, and he lost his right hand, you know, as far as running here and there and taking the combine head, because he didn't like running down the road with a 20-foot combine head on. And he said, Mike, I'm gonna have to downsize. My trucking business is going real good. I said, God, I understand. I said, help me get somebody else in here. So talked to another farm up the road, and they do corn and soybeans. They rotate it. So next year I'm gonna have a field full of corn in front of my tree stand, in front of my box stand. And that's not a bad thing. But he spreads chicken litter in the off season. So it's like I told a boss of mine one time, she was having this big event at the retirement community where I was, and the farmer up the road had just spread 100-acre field with chicken poop. And she said, Mike, she's a Yankee from Pennsylvania. She said, Mike, what is that smell? I said, it's chicken poop. And she said, ain't there anything you can do about it? I said, I sniffed real big. I sniffed real big. I said, it smells like money to me, you know. And she got mad. She stomped her foot and walked off like I could do something about it. I'm going to drive a mile up the road and tell the farmer to stop, you know. Come on.
I spent 10 years in facilities in a hospital.
Yeah, you know how it is.
All kinds of fun stuff. I one of my favorites was, it was like weather like this, maybe not quite this cold, but below 20s. And I got 4 women in an office, and of course the office was made for one, and we segregated into 4. Right. So one is overheating and one is freezing, and the other 2 don't know which is which.
Yeah.
Well, the one next to the window has got the window open, and the rest of them are cold. So I go in there and I close the window. I get another call a couple hours later. It's cold in the office. I go back there. The window's open again. I close the window again. I come back. I say, whoever's opening this window, if you don't keep it closed, I'm going to screw it shut. And you can't do that. It's not getting cold. That's not making it cold. That's just airflow.
It's also making the thermostat say, I'm
These
cold.
are college-educated women.
I know.
Yeah, it's not making it cold. It's airflow. Gotcha. Well, I'm cutting your airflow off if you leave this window open.
Yeah. And if you
And
try
I'll
to
do
open
it,
it
yeah. You won't get it open.
one more time, I'm going to cut your head off. That's it.
I used to love when they had the heaters under their desks because they weren't allowed unless
Right.
they went through electrical check through engineering. And that was like forever. You wouldn't get it back that season. And I would tell them, look, please don't plug it in, take it home. I don't only find it here. And I find it 2 or 3 days, and you know how I fixed it. Cut the plug off.
Yep. That's how we did it.
I told you, I gave you chances. I'm sorry.
I threatened all these office women, and then we invited OSHA in there to do a compliance check, and that way they didn't fine you. They made suggestions instead of fining you. So they came in that first time, they found all them heaters, and I was walking around with a big pair of dikes in my pocket. I'd look at them and grin, and I'd cut the plug off at the heater. Yeah, I'd unplug it and then cut it off at the heater where you couldn't.
Don't
You
leave
couldn't
them no detail.
Right. You couldn't repair it. And they were like, you really got to do that? Well, ask the man.
Yeah.
The man's watching me do it. I'm rectifying the issue right now.
Yeah.
And then we got inspected by the state. That was a no-no for the
That gets you a
state.
deficiency. And if you guys don't know what deficiencies are, you get too many deficiencies. That's a big deal.
They
That's
shut
a big
you
deal
down.
for a facility.
Yep.
Yeah, they shut you down. Too many deficiencies, they'll shut you down.
Well, they lined them up at the security desk at the bank I was working at, and well, I worked at the where the IT department was, and there'd be about 400 heaters laying in the floor. They'd tell them come pick them out. When they come to get them, they had to sign a piece of paper that said next time you're fired.
There was a Freightliner dealership towards Atlanta, and everybody started getting text messages. I mean, even though we're competing businesses and all that, we all keep in touch with each other. Everybody starts getting pictures from different people that work there, and half the building is gone, and it was a fire.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, I had a friend that I used to work with that went over there and was working there. And I called him. I'm like, what the hell happened? He said, some old lady's heater in the office just short circuited and set the whole damn building on fire.
Yeah.
I mean, every truck that was in the shop is destroyed. All that diesel fuel went up. I mean, the
millions of dollars.
whole property had to be bulldozed. It was terrible.
Well, it's like CW said, college educated women, you can't get it through the thick skull. This is dangerous. It could cause a fire. And it's like the dad on A Christmas Story, you know, when he plugs in the Christmas tree, bam, quick whiff of ozone. Wait, a fuse is out, you know, and they want to operate like that. No, that's not the way you operate. That and extension cords was our big thing.
The reason that they're so particular about heaters is because people leave them on overnight. You know, if you're just running them while you're there up under your desk, you know,
they want it warm in the morning.
That's one thing. But people are running them overnight, and they'll get overheated, and plastic will start melting and fall down on the coils, and there it is. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they want it warm when they get there.
I was since I was director of plant operations, I had control of the new train system, and I could autonomously shut your heat off or your air off or your whatever. And my boss either stayed really, really hot or really, really cold, depending on how she treated me that particular day. And I could do that to anybody in that building. All I had to do was mash a button. And I had fun, you know. Everybody should get a little taste of being divine once in a while, you know. And I was divine over the AC.
Odd mode.
Okay. Last week we talked about 35, 38 caliber, mostly 38, 357, mostly wheel gun cartridges, and we delved a little bit into the rifle side. But we want to talk tonight a little bit more about rifle cartridges in 358 diameter. I'll list off a few, and then we'll delve into some individual ones, and y'all can tell me if y'all have had particular experience with it, and maybe we'll look them up and see exactly what they are. The first one he gets into is, he mentions 357 Magnum revolver cartridge in a lever action, and says that this guy is Chuck Hawks. Do y'all know Chuck Hawks?
Yeah.
If you don't look him up, he writes some good stuff.
Yeah, he does. And then the first one that pops into my mind is 35 Remington. I think that was my first real deer cartridge, was the 35 Remington. I've loved it all ever since I've had it. And he talks about how when Hornady lever evolution factory load came out, that it improved its ballistics with the Spitzer style bullet. And talking about it, muzzle velocity of 2,225 feet per second, and 2,198 foot-pounds of energy from a 24-inch barrel on the Marlin 336 XLR. Now, see, I wished I'd never read that, because I've been perfectly happy all my life with my 20-inch barrel on my Marlin 336. Now I've got to find a 24-inch. And in all the things that I've read today about these things is how 35 caliber rifle cartridges have been slow to catch on. And most people, and I think you guys are probably the exception, the main hindrance in their popularity seems to me to be recoil. Now, I know that my 35 Remington thumps a whole lot harder than my 30-30 Marlins.
Oh, yeah.
Excuse me, y'all. I'm sorry. I'm especially sorry to all you guys wearing headphones and that kind of thing, but I'm sick, and I probably shouldn't even be doing this tonight. But here's a list for you, and we'll pick one and pile on. 357 Magnum, done talked about that a little bit. 35 Remington, we talk about that almost every other week on this platform. 356 Winchester, 358 Winchester, 35 Wayland, 350 Remington Magnum, and 358 Norma Mag.
There you go, the big lady.
I heard that Ruger was toying around with bringing out the 358 Winchester and their Glenfield.
That would be awesome. They brought it back in the what is it? What model is it? Hawkeye.
Yeah.
They brought it out in the Hawkeye.
They're thinking about bringing it out in the Ruger American #1, aka the Glenfield.
Here's something, man, that I've since SHOT Show I found this out. We were promised, not only have we heard glimmering hopes from Ruger that they would make a 336 and 35 Remington again.
Henry, I think, just announced 35 Remington.
Don't steal my thunder, see.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I think that Henry has beat him to the punch. I think they have. Matter of fact, I seen an ad that showed 360 Buckhammer and 35 Remington Henry steel receiver lever actions.
That would be fun.
What's going to be the difference? Of course, the 35 Remington is rimless, which proves that you don't have to have a rimmed cartridge for a lever action to function.
Right. I don't know anything about the 358 Winchester. Do you, CW?
Yeah, that was the first deer caliber I ever bought myself. A BLR, about 82 ish. Yeah, that was my.
Is it 35 Remington ish or?
It's more than 35 Remington. Yeah, 35 Remington advertisements are 200 grain bullet about 2050, 2100, 2075.
Yeah.
The 358 is a 200 grain bullet about 2450.
Wow.
So it's a little bit more. The Whalen is about 2650.
Yeah, I knew the Whalen is a thumper.
And the 350 is about 27, and the Norma Magnum is close to 3,000.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Well, let me just bring up one thing, and y'all expound on this for a minute, and then we'll be time to call out the side chat. James, I made a decision last week when we were talking about 38 357. We decided that we were not going to include the 350 Legend because we were not going to include the 9mm because it's 355.
Right.
So in this discussion tonight, we will not be talking about 350 Legend because it is 355 and not 357 or 358. And that's just my way of thinking. And so we'll talk about those on another day. As a matter of fact, we'll probably wind up talking about the 350 Legend the same night we talk about 9mm if we get that far. But 358 Winchester is a necked up 308 case.
Yep.
Basically.
Like the 338 Federal. Yeah.
Yep. And the 356 is basically the same dimensions, loaded to a little lower pressure, but it has a rim, same as the 307. 307, 356 are the same case. And the 307 is basically a 308 loaded just a little bit lighter with a rim.
Yeah, I read that today too. Ain't that cool?
Yep.
They think they gotta have. Maybe they do in those Winchester lever actions. There's Porky Pig 22 LR. I got a sneaking suspicion who that might be.
Who is what's the 3855? What diameter bullets? I forget.
It's different. It's
Yeah, it is.
Jacketed stuff is 377, but a lot of bores were up in the 380s.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it depends on the era. Depends on who chambered it.
Yeah. I got a buddy of mine, just got a Chief Crazy Horse that had been shot. It didn't have a box. So he's going to make it a shooter.
Yeah, I had one. I like that gun. Mine shot. Mine had I don't remember the bore off the top of my head now. I want to say 382 bore. And I don't think I had to throat it. That's the big thing. A lot of the 3855s, and we talked about this last week, they wouldn't chamber bullets of the correct diameter they needed to be accurate.
Right.
And because it was black powder back in the day, black powder is different. Black powder really, really disrupts that bullet, and it causes it to obturate quickly, and
Right.
it fills the bore. So it squeezes down and then blows back out. and it
Right.
worked. But smokeless powder doesn't work that way, and it didn't work as well.
Right. Well, I'm not gonna hijack our discussion. I do want to show this off though.
Yeah, very nice.
You ever seen any of that old, Jamie?
Oh yeah,
I have.
I'm still working on an 8-pound can in cardboard.
They're unopened, and they still smell good.
Those are pretty new. They're plastic,
Yeah.
relatively. They're probably probably in the 90s. Those bottles.
I'd say.
I'll show you
Yeah.
something I've got. Let me call out the side chat. Let's type in
358.
358 win. How about that? And they're off the page now. All right, CW2A was in here first. He's in the panel and on the side chat. Kyle Lusk is also. Bobby Barlow is out there. Hillbilly Up is on the panel also and the side chat. Bama Dad is on the panel as well. Glad to have him. Mr. Edward Petty, Crash Rack and Shoot. Dwayne 7834, Porky Pig 22 LR. Walks Fletcher, Glenn Davis, Viejo, Walter, my brother, Vanessa Kitty. Good to see you out there, Miss Kitty. Papa's Place, James Pugh, Timothy Burke, Corners and Doors. Good to see you, buddy. Rollis Carvelis, James Pugh, Dwayne 7834. Mike Hester, the Rebel, is also on the panel. Bud with a Gun. He's just a little bit dyslexic. Ozzy Horsmore, Floridian, 01 guy. Real Uncle Bob, what's going on? M. Gabriel. Bud with a Gun is still dyslexic. Del Pogue. J Delta 22 NC. Good to see you out there, J Delta. And I think we're up to date. M. Gabriel's out there. I know, Miss Kitty. I've lost track of how many years we've been doing this. We started April of 2018.
Wow.
We're coming up on 8 years, y'all.
The blast from the past.
Here in about 3 more months. So yeah, we appreciate Miss Kitty's been there from the beginning too. She's we need to give her our valedictorian award. I'm glad she ain't telling stories. But yeah, 358 Winchester, basically the necked up 308 cartridge. And to look at it, let me get some stuff. Y'all talk amongst yourselves for a minute. Let me round some.
Yeah, the 358 came out with 200s and 250s, and the 250 grain dropped away pretty quick. I don't remember ballistics off the top of my head. I want to say 2200 range with a 250 grain bullet, and it was actually a pretty good cartridge. It's a shorter range, powerhouse, but in the deer woods, eastern part of the country and closer ranges, it's devastating. It's really, really good, and it can shoot 180s pretty darn quick. I know I worked up a load in my bolt with a 225 with tack, and I was into the 24s with a 225. So you can get it going with the new powders pretty darn good. And that 225 Sierra was brought out when Remington legitimized the Whalen in about 87. and they designed that bullet for the Whalen. But I find it a little bit fragile. I think it works. A full house Whalen, I think, is you're better off keeping it in the lungs or keeping it away from big bones. I find it a little on the fragile side, so I like it. I like it in the 358 or 356. But if you load it in 356 in a lever, you got to be careful because it's pointy. You don't want pointy bullets in your magazines.
Nope.
Spear came out with the 220 that was really, really good in the 356, and they've since discontinued it. There's a couple of companies that are making good selections that'll do what the Spear bullet used to do. Barnes has a good blunt hollow point. Hammer has a good one, and the outfit in Michigan there, what's his name? Custom Bullets. I've got a bunch of his bullets downstairs. I can't think of his name. It's a man's name. He makes a good bullet, and he really did a lot of field testing to duplicate the Spear as close as he could. He did a really good job. Dennis Fury bullets. He makes some really good bullets for a lot of calibers. He makes bonded bullets, pure jackets, pure lead, just like the Barnes originals used to be, pure copper, pure brass, and pure lead, different thickness jackets. He'll do a lot of stuff, and it's not crazy priced. It's good stuff. Yeah, I did a lot with the 358, and then with the Whalen.
Are those
Big fan of the 35s.
They do chemically bonded or mechanically?
Chemically.
Mechanically.
And no, chemical glue.
Yeah, I like that better.
It works good.
Mm-hmm.
It works good.
Federal Fusion, for example, Gold Dot, Spear Gold Dot is.
Yeah. They're a little bit different though, because they're actually a plated bullet.
Yeah,
that's a heavy plating where Furies are jacket cores that he puts lead in.
Right. Yeah. The multi-purpose use for glue. Ain't that funny?
Yeah.
Don't let me forget when Armament and Axis brought up 357 Max. We'll definitely talk
That's
about
another real good one. That's one of my favorites too. That's around here, the way our property is in a lot of the areas. We've got some decent woods, but the majority of the parcels I can hunt and I do have permission on are a lot tighter, a lot closer. And late in the season, you get up in a tree and oftentimes you can see a house or you can see a road in a lot of the places we are. And using a big center fire just doesn't seem safe. You're in a tree shooting at the ground, you're much safer, but it just doesn't seem it. It's not like when I used to hunt Vermont or New York or Pennsylvania or Maine, where you can walk straight line and not hit anything for as far as you can walk. So I really started using the 45 Colt and then the Maximum in the early 90s. I started with it, late 80s. It came out mid late 80s, so it's not that old of a cartridge. But inside 200 yards, it's a dandy on bear and whitetails. It's dynamite. I had an H&R and a Contender and 180 grain Hornady single shot pistol bullet with 1680 got me about 2100 and change feet per second. So it's right behind, kissing cousins with the 35 Rem. And we all know 35 Rem has, made history since 1906, what it can do. So
there's Uncle Bob.
Yeah, Uncle Bob's got one because he got it. I wanted the gun and I couldn't let it go, so I called him up and said, "Come buy this," and he bought that rifle. It's Ruger 77, 358 Winchester.
Well, the Now, the 357 Max is notorious in revolvers for cutting forcing cones, though, isn't it?
It only cut him just so far, and it really was. I think it. I don't know. It's like I'm not doubting that it happened. I question it a lot because why did it stop? You know, why was it an issue in other kinds of guns? What's going on?
You question the severity of the cutting.
Yeah. You know, I think it was worse with one bullet weight over another, and I think it's better suited with 180s and 200s than it was with the 158s. And I got a feeling that they just pushed it a little bit hard in pressures. It's got some pressures. You know, it's hot.
Yeah, that's a hot round.
357 mag is, I think it's rated 37.5, but it's generally only found about 35, where the maximum is definitely up 38, and that's a lot for a revolver. I don't care what revolver. That's a lot.
Yeah, it is.
It is. All right. First of all,
even the Magnums aren't that high. The Magnum 44 and 41 isn't that high. So
No.
there you go, Rebel.
there's an old can.
There you go. I'll show you an old one. How about this? Pull me up big.
Yeah, there you go. DuPont.
Damn.
It just says gunpowder. Can't get the lid off. Nothing.
What barn did you find that in?
It's no telling. But I've got some powders and cans like yours, Jamie.
Yeah.
Unopened. They probably still good.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
this is still good. I've opened it just to look at the powder and smell it.
Of course, because you're a guy and you
I
like
have
smelling
four. I have
gunpowder.
4 of these, and this is the only one that I've opened.
Really?
And every time you pop that top and smell it, you go,
That's it.
All right, here's something else I wanted y'all to see.
Something they don't make no more. Oh, sorry.
3 cartridges, right? This is 6.5 Creedmoor. This is 35 Remington. And this is the 308.
mm-hmm.
So imagine this necked out to that diameter and a 200 grain bullet sitting on top of it.
Yeah.
The 35 Remington has very little shoulder at all.
Right.
And I imagine that the 358 Winchester would be about like that, but you can also see the difference in the height.
Just a whisker bigger round. Just a whisker bigger shoulder.
The 35 Remington almost looks, if you didn't have those size references, you could say it was a 300 blackout. The shoulder's so abbreviated, you know?
Yeah, it's a 300 blackout Magnum.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it is a good bit longer than a 300 blackout.
Oh, yeah.
What kills me is my 300 blackout bullets are longer than the case.
That's it.
So could you imagine that in a 35? How big that bullet would be?
But we routinely run 200 grain bullets in a 35 Remington, just like they did the 358 Winchester. But yeah, 358 Winchester is something I wouldn't mind having, and a Whalen as well. 35 Whalen, on the other hand, is basically your 30-06 case necked up to 35 caliber.
I knew a guy who had a 700 custom barreled in a 35 Whalen. Man, that was so sexy.
Let's see if we can. The 358 Norma Mag, this standard 30-06 length Magnum cartridge drives a 250 grain bullet at a muzzle velocity of basically 2,800 feet per second with 4,350 foot-pounds of muzzle energy.
Ow.
Wow.
Yeah, I got a buddy that shoots a 300 Norma mag, and that's no slouch. I can only imagine what a 358 would be.
Mine is almost 29 with a 250, 2875, 2880 with a full load of 4350. I've got a 2520 powder in the Whalen with a 25-inch barrel. I was 2,900 feet per second with a big flash.
Yeah, I guarantee it.
A big flash.
So you talking about still the 35 caliber rifles haven't caught on that much. I mean, to the guys that know about them and that have shot them and seen their results in the field, man, we love them.
Yep. And there's one that's even bigger. That's the 358 Shooting Times Westerner, and that's a full length 375 H&H case, blown out and then tapered down to 358, and that is a solid 100 feet per second on top of the 358 Norma. 358 Norma is basically, looking at them, they're basically the same as a 338 with obviously a larger diameter bullet, but almost identical. Its shoulder's just a little bit farther forward, neck's just a little bit shorter, but it's basically looks like a 338 if you're familiar with what that looks like.
That's a safari. That's a safari gun.
It betters it. It's right behind the 340 Weatherby, and it's just that much in front of the 338 Winchester, the 358 Norma mag, and the 358 Shooting Times Westerner is right there with the 340 Weatherby, maybe just a touch faster, but at the cost of a lot of recoil and a lot of powder.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
You know, I'm burning. My top loads are almost 80 grains of powder. You're probably in the 90s with the Shooting Times Westerner to get another, 100, 125, 50, 150 feet per second.
Just for reference, a 338 Lapua is 97 grains of Retumbo, so that's not that far under it. You know?
But those
No,
are built
and
in Magnum
that's-
cases, right?
Yeah.
That's a 250 at just shy of 3,000.
Yeah.
So I'm a 250 at just shy of 2,900.
Yeah.
So
Here's
it's
another one I want to talk about. He calls it the queen of the 35s, the 350 Remington Magnum. And he calls it the original short Magnum cartridge.
it's an original short Magnum for sure.
308 length case.
Yeah, 6.5 Remington Magnum is another one on the same case. Come out around the same time in the same rifle, the 600 and the 660 Remingtons.
He says that the 350 Remington Magnum is available in the Remington Model 7 rifle.
Yeah,
Which
custom
is
shop.
also offered in 300 short Magnum cases.
Yeah.
783, I think, had some as well, the cheaper gun. Then there's a couple of Wildcats.
I bet that was a handful in a Model 7.
Yeah.
Yeah, they belted you pretty good in the 600 and the 660.
Well, yeah, a 660 and 600 are small guns too.
Says that the 350 can drive a 250 grain bullet to a muzzle velocity of 2,500 feet per second. That load has a maximum optimal range on 1,000 pound game, like big Alaskan moose or brown bear, of 151 yards. It will kill further than that, of course, but that is its optimal range. The 300 rim short action ultra magnum are the 300 WSM, and they're 180 grain bullets at a muzzle velocity of 2960 to 2970 feet per second have an optimum range of about 120 yards on 1,000 pound animals.
Well, my neighbor across the road did a Yukon moose hunt in 2025, and he shot a 62-inch bull at 75 yards with a 300 PRC. He said it turned around and looked at him like, "Get away from me, boy! You bother me," and then walked 4 or 5 steps and killed over. But he said the back loins and the tenderloins weighed. He's a small guy, so he said I let the professional packers pack everything up, and I got to carry the tenderloins and the back loins, and they weighed 125 pounds.
Good God.
That's a big animal.
Yeah,
I
it
mean,
is.
you could put an average white-tailed deer's back loins and tenderloins into a plastic grocery bag, and kind of looped around a little bit, but that's a lot of meat right there.
That's a lot of jerky right there.
You ain't lying.
Jerky out of loins? What are you, nuts?
Yeah, really. That's filet.
Hey, when you got 200 pounds of it, just
That's
do it.
filet mignon. You don't make
Yeah.
jerky out of filet mignon.
I was going to say that's filet mignon.
Yeah, but you got 200 pounds of it. It might as well sacrifice 5 or 10.
Who's ever had moose? I've never had moose.
Moose is very good.
It's very
He's supposed to bring me some moose. I forget how many pounds of moose burger he got. It was ridiculous. And he said, "I'll bring you some moose burger." I have to remind him.
So you got to go buy a second deep freeze when you kill one of those.
My local
Exactly.
butcher actually sells moose and stuff like that. They apparently, this small town that I live in, there's some high quality taste buds, I guess. But
They got they got the culinary hookup, don't they?
Yep, they actually stock it.
Good grief. You can't get moose in Alabama that I know of.
I bet you can.
Somebody'd have to send it to me. I don't think you can get it in the store.
If Finley's opens a butcher shop over there, you can. They got alligator, snake, they got moose, they got bison, they got all of this is like farm raised, so to speak.
Farm raised snakes.
Shoot.
I mean, they got all kinds of stuff in there.
Remember, Dad's rattlesnakes good eating, Bubba.
It is.
No.
Tastes like chicken.
I ain't eating one.
A
Sorry.
good old water moccasin ain't bad either. You get hungry enough, it's good.
You eat frog legs?
No.
Well,
Not any reason except I'm not going to eat frog legs unless I go get the frogs, and I don't care much about going frog hunting.
well, wild frogs are better than what you get in a store, but frog legs is awful good.
And frog gigging is the best part of it.
We used to shoot them with 22 short hollow points.
No, you go out there with a trident, baby.
No, I gigged them with lead, baby.
I watch those Duck Dynasty guys. They don't use nothing but their hands.
Yeah, there's some guys that do that.
There's some things you don't want to grab in the water.
It's like that whole catfish noodling thing. I never understood that.
I'm not saying no. It'd be my luck. I'd stick my hand in one of them logs or in one of them boxes, and I'd get a snapping turtle, or it'd get me.
All right, what about
videos? Little girl goes down there and goes noodling and comes up with a catfish that's half her size. I think that's
Hannah
Brown.
Barron?
Yeah, there she goes. She's one of the ones. Yeah,
Hannah Barron. Yeah. There's a big sport around here. I know a lot of old guys that go digging under banks for snapping turtle, and up here in the western part of the state they call them cooters, but there's an actual turtle called a cooter
And a slider.
a slider, and but of course, being Appalachian, we mutated everything. But they could feel up under the bank and feel the top of his shell and tell if his head was turned toward you or away from you. And they pulled him out. There was a couple guys went up to Virginia to the Clinch River, and they came back and they had a pickup truck bed full of snapping turtles. They caught 78 turtles, all by hand. And
that's asking for trouble. I mean,
not,
hell,
not one of them looked like that either. You know,
I was about to say, after a couple of years, they can only count to 8. You know,
yeah. They were just good at it. You know, I'm not and into the unknown. I'll get your mind out of the gutter.
I've heard snake was pretty rough. That's why I'm not.
Snake tastes actually pretty. It's like frog legs.
I'm not talking about taste. I'm talking about the bones.
You can get around that. That's why God invented forks.
They just ain't worth it.
That's the fork God gave you, man.
As long as there's squirrels in the trees, I'm not eating snake.
Jamie, he gave us this, and we invented the fork. You know, it evolved. It evolved from the sharp, pointy stick. So,
well, I'm convinced that if you live in Georgia in July and August, that man might have invented air conditioning, but it was definitely a divine inspiration.
The Lord absolutely blessed it upon William Carrier to invent the air conditioner. All right. And that's the man that invented it, Mr. Carrier.
Well, God bless him.
Yeah. God bless him. You're right.
You too much, Crash. Hannah Barron is my future ex-wife. Mark my words.
Oh, Lord. We're not going to even get into how pretty she is.
I was about to say, you're a lucky man then.
Have you ever thought about, y'all, I was shocked today, and I know this ain't got nothing to do with what we're talking about, but the mom from Home Alone
passed away. Yeah.
Today.
71 years old.
71.
Who's that?
Jill? Jill passed away?
No, yeah. What was her name? What was her name? She had a real fancy.
Yeah, I can't remember her real name, but it was
Catherine O'Hara.
Yeah.
Catherine O'Hara. Good actress.
Wow.
Really good actress.
And it makes me wonder if she was related to Maureen O'Hara.
I don't know.
You remember the redhead lady that used to be in all the John Wayne movies?
Oh, do I ever?
She got a chest cold and kill her, wouldn't it?
That's right. That's my wife's favorite John Wayne movies, McClintock, and she loves the scene where she's out there in her little PJs getting thrown into water. And I said, honey, when this movie was made, that was fairly risque. I mean,
yeah,
you know,
that scene inspired wet t-shirt contest
forever.
Across
and the blonde she pushed in the horse trough wasn't no slouch either. So
my favorite
hearing that Jill Taylor passed away, that kind of takes a little bit of my childhood away. Not that I was actually a child when that show was on, but man,
a Canadian.
Mark Thomas, mud wrestling too. Heck yeah, man.
Yeah.
I can see me and Mark Thomas at a mud wrestling match.
Oh, good. It'd be like that scene from Stripes with John Candy.
Yeah. Oh my God, that was bad.
we couldn't sit close up because we'd be afraid mud would get in our beards. So, yeah, man.
Maureen O'Hara got covered in molasses, chicken feathers, water, and mud, that covered all the weird fetishes back in the whatever that movie was made. You know,
Hey, who's dating Bob Crane?
well, Bob,
Somebody look it
if she
up.
was dating Bob Crane, there was some fetishes going on then.
That's what I'm getting at.
Yeah, Bob Crane was a weird dude.
Yeah, he was.
Not just that, man. They still don't know who killed him. I mean, they know who killed him. They just can't prove it and throw him in jail. It was his buddy.
I was like, did you know that Jackie Gleason had the world's largest collection of satanic books?
I never
Right.
would have thought that.
Bang
wouldn't
zoom.
Wasn't either.
That was a weird thing to find that out.
So this article that I'm looking at,
Don't know why I thought about that.
they yeah,
Yeah, that did come out of left field there.
Well, those are actors. You know, we look back at it thinking that they were all, you know, above approach and all that. Some of them were the weirdest people on the face of the earth.
Yeah,
I just go to show you there ain't nothing new under the sun.
that's right.
I bet Barbara Eden had some skeletons in her closet too.
oh man,
I wish I was one of them.
Yeah,
Hot
I mean-
almighty. I mean, she calls.
Come
She
on,
calls-
show us how you do it. Show us
she
how you
calls-
do it, Rebel. Put them arms there.
She calls stirrings in me that shouldn't have been called. I mean, whoo, good
Oh,
Lord.
think about this. Oh,
I've dreamed
I'm
of Jeannie a couple of times.
that's like Gilligan's Island. They say it was supposed to be a comedy. I never knew that.
Yeah, I know. And I never had a thing. I never had a thing for Ginger. It was always Marianne.
Always,
You know,
Marianne.
I was like, Marianne is doing the nasty with Professor. I know it. And, you know, I just.
With the coconuts.
Yeah. Oh,
Miss
God.
Kitty,
that radio, Professor.
Kim
Miss
Gabriel,
Kitty.
I have to keep that Eagle Speedo hidden from my wife because she's threatened to burn it. And
A what? You got a Speedo.
the Eagle Speedo from the marvelous Bubba. Hillbilly remembers that. Vanessa Kitty, did McClintock come out in 1976?
Sounds about right.
That was the year I started high school.
Was that a Western or was that a more modern?
No,
It
I
was a-
think it was older than that. I got to look it up now.
It was a Western, but it was a comedic Western. Okay.
What's the one that John Wayne did where he was in a Trans Am and got smashed between garbage trucks or something?
Huh?
He was a private. He was a
Yeah. No, he's a cop.
Yeah, I thought it was earlier than that because I think John Wayne died around 70, 72, 76, somewhere around there.
He died in 78.
McClintock came out in 1963.
He died in 77 or 78
Uh,
because Elvis died just a little bit before that.
Damn, I thought McClintock was older than that.
McHugh.
I mean, newer than that. I'm sorry.
I knew it was close to McClintock, but it was
there he is giving her a spanking
Yeah. With
on
a
that tree stump.
with a shovel, with an ash shovel.
He's using his hands in this clip.
Yeah.
Boy, you know they paid her money because she was a big time actress by then. And she was totally humiliated in that movie. All right.
Yeah.
Any other 35 cartridges we want to talk about?
Marino
Jamie
O'Hara. Both those 35. No, I'm kidding.
I think
They were, yeah.
44s. We missed talking about her on the 44 caliber. There was There was a lady that went to my church. There was a lady that went to my church when I was a little boy, and she had a bumper sticker on her car that had a revolver on each end, like you're looking down the barrel and the cylinder and all. And then between the two revolvers, it says, "Ever try to rape a pair of 38s?"
Yeah, there you
Damn.
go.
2 years after Elvis, John Wayne died June 11th, 1979. Frosty Outdoors 57, welcome in this house, man.
That was the first year I was getting ready to go to high school.
Man, I'm telling y'all, the day Elvis died, my mama woke me up to get ready to go to school and
She was
go
crying.
to work, and she was crying.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what's
My
the matter? Is Papa and Grandmother okay like that? She said, no. I said, well, what's the matter then? And she busted out, Elvis died. I'm like, oh, my word. I thought it was something important. And, oh, man, then she went off on me.
Listen, down here in my basement, I've got Elvis album after Elvis album on vinyl. And I told my wife, I said, I know those belong to your mother. I said, but you could get good money for those things. I said, I'm serious. I said, you better strike while the iron's hot, because a few years from now, nobody's going to remember Elvis, you know?
Or they're going to figure out he's still alive.
Yeah, right. They're going to find him.
Man, he was born in 1935. He'd be 90 years old by now.
Yeah, but if you're living with Sasquatch, it's good nature living, you know?
Yeah. Him, Sasquatch, and Ted Nugent, right?
That's it.
Hell, that'd be one hell of a damn way to live.
I know.
I had just graduated high school in 1979. Texarkana is basically the same for me. Our mamas freaked us out the day Elvis died. And
well, Jamie, I'm glad you started high school in 79. That paved the way for me, sir.
no, I graduated in 80.
I started in 79, Kai.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Y'all just cleared the way for me. Appreciate that.
I've done a lot of clearing.
Easy.
In more ways than one. Okay.
Damn snow shovels.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, this storm we're getting ready to have, they said this is the biggest snowstorm we've had in this area in 10 to 12 years. And you don't think about it when you live in the South. You just remember the last one, you know?
Well, that's what they said about last week, too. It was a storm of the century. And like I say, it almost rained.
Right. Now, I lived through the blizzard of 93, and it was truly up
Now,
here.
that was a storm. That was a storm.
Yeah. You woke up the next morning, and everybody's mailbox was 1 foot off the snow, you know, and where it drifted. My infant son had an eye infection, and I had to drive to a pharmacy and tell the pharmacist to open so I could get some sulfur drug to put in his eye. He was just born. And I was riding along. I was looking on the side, and I was like, these mailboxes are like roadside bumpers, you know, to tell you where the road is. It was crazy. I'd never seen snow like that.
We had 7 foot snow drifts here.
Yeah, we did too. It's
You're
crazy.
talking about 93.
Yes, sir.
March 13th.
And then in 2002, we had the worst ice storm we ever had. Me and Jody were standing outside our apartment, and I said, Jody, look at this. And it was raining like crazy. It was 26 degrees. It was thundering and lightning. I said, God's mad at us. I said, hey, something. And you could just hear trees popping. Just pop, 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 pop everywhere. That's scary. Sound like a 35 Remington going off. There you go. I brought it back.
Did y'all hear what Boston got out of that storm last week?
No.
16.7 feet of snow.
But they deserve it.
Like, Jesus, 16, almost 17 feet of snow. What the hell do you do with that? I mean, I know there's a river running through the city, but
I could tell them what to do with
it. I hear you.
A lot of frozen colons.
Jesus.
Hillbilly, you all right over there? You had to go do something?
Yeah, buddy, I'm here. Yeah, I did walk away for a few minutes, but yeah, I'm just sitting there listening, having a good time.
We're just checking on you, buddy.
Yeah, I go throw some wood on the fire and stuff. So
I know you hadn't got into 35 Remington too much. I know you shot and hunted with it when you was a kid, but I can't wait for you to start reloading for that cartridge. It's going to open up a world to you that you're going to be amazed by.
It's like walking into Dorothy's Wonderland right then.
There's probably been more bear laid in the shade in Western North Carolina with a 35 Remington than anything else. I think it probably have the edge up on 30-30. But, you know, they hunt them here. They run them up a tree, and then they pick or choose how they're going to shoot them. But a lot of them boys carry 35s.
It's never let me down.
yeah, it was my first deer rifle. So I mean, it was 35 Remington. So
I'm excited about Henry making some of them too.
mm-hmm.
We just lost Bama Dad. Maybe
Yep.
he'll be back.
Hopefully he'll come back.
He got snowed in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 2 weekends in a row. My little weather alert over here tells me the temperatures are going to rise on Sunday.
Yeah.
It's 39 out there now. And,
I wish it was 39 here.
Don't worry, it ain't here, hillbilly. And I'm 3 hours up the road from them.
Yeah.
Let me. It's showing 37 here. It's showing Saturday. Going to be windy and 17, which is up from the 14 that it was saying earlier. Sunday, oh yeah, low of 16, but it's going to be 34 degrees. But Monday we got a 20 to 46. Tuesday 28 to 55. We'll be fine.
So today, the high was 38 and the low was 21. You got to remember, we got some roads that are not impassable, but I would not go up in a Toyota Prius. Okay. Saturday, high of 25, low of 13. And then Sunday, Sunday, 33 and then a low of 10. Then 39, 21. Oh, we're getting plumb balmy. And then Tuesday is 48 and a low of 34. So we'll get some melt off then. Welcome to the South.
8.6 blackout, M. Gabriel. I don't
That's
want to dish on nothing, but it seems a little odd to me. It's
That's
basically a 338 bullet.
Yeah.
ain't it?
Yeah, they copied a 338 Spectre. And now they got another one out there. CW could probably chime in on that. They've got another. What is it, CW?
I don't know what it's called, but it's a 10 millimeter case.
Yeah. And it's really, you can get the 8.6 blackout supersonic, but barely. I mean, it's
the 8.6 will go super pretty nicely.
Yeah,
the
but
338
I love
Arc will
mine.
go super pretty pretty well.
But it's a kick-ass subsonic round.
Yeah, it's this 10 millimeter is basically only a subsonic.
Yeah.
It's not a super at all.
Right.
And the 338 arc is probably best or better as a subsonic. But the 86 definitely is a, it's got some oomph as a super.
I absolutely love my 86, man.
Do you?
Oh yeah, 300 grain, and it just don't give a crap, man. It's going to go through whatever you want to shoot it at. And so,
Well, long time ago, I said it on the Blackout forum. If you want to kill Osama bin Laden, I was determined to say this. Take a 220 grain Sierra Match King, find the point of the earth where Osama bin Laden's on the opposite side, and just shoot to the ground, and you'll hit him. It might tumble, but you'll hit him. Because those things went through everything and then ricocheted after that. That was my first experience with subsonic. I got my suppressor. I was all happy. I screwed it on my AR, and I walked outside, and there was a big live poplar tree that's bent over and grew like this, and it was probably 20 inches. And I said, I'll shoot that poplar tree. And I shot it, and I heard tweet off in the air, and I walked up there and looked. The shot slammed through that poplar tree and still had enough energy to ricochet. Scared the crap out of me.
Yeah. 300 grains of solid brass with a 1 3-inch twist.
Oh, Lord.
Subsonic.
That's mean.
Yeah.
I bet if they ricochet, I bet if they ricochet,
milk jug full of water and not even shake the jug. It'll just plug a hole right in the front and right out the back and never even move it. Man. Crazy.
What's the application?
Subsonic hunting.
Yeah.
It's a real thing.
What,
It's a
86
real
blackout?
thing. Yeah.
Well, the reason the military had them, or one of the reasons it was made, is so they could shoot a heavy grain subsonic and it stay flat, for quite a ways out there, and
It really carries well.
If I'm not wrong, I'm pretty sure that's why it was made, was for a military application.
Well, I'll give you a quote from a guy who came on the Accurate Shooter Forum, and he asked, "What's 300 blackout's purpose, really?" And the best answer I've ever heard anybody say is this guy came back and answered him. He said, "It's for special people doing special things in special places." and that was the end of that. I mean, you can go super or sub pretty easy and switch up and out of a 10-inch barrel, no problem. So
Anti-personnel, basically.
pretty much. But supersonic, I've killed a buck, 130-pound buck at 98 yards with a 125 SST. He ran back toward me about 30 yards, and he slid the rest of the way and was dead on arrival.
Well, Jamie, both of those are 386. That's another thing. They're great subsonic, but also out of a 12-inch barrel, barrel rifle.
Yeah, they're very efficient.
Okay.
The 86 adds quite a bit with that 1 3 twist. You look at gel block shots, and it's amazing.
The RPMs.
Yeah, that it's so fast that it's really it spins so hard. I mean, it really is useless with cup and core bullets. You really need monocore,
Solid.
copper, brass, machined, or Barnes type bullets to shoot it.
Monolithic.
Yeah, it's spinning so fast that bullets just don't. A lot of bullets don't hold up to it, and it's not blazing speed, so you need a softer bullet to expand, but it's a whole new category. It's a whole new thing.
Yeah.
Right. And Jamie, when subsonic hunting, before that was a thing, there was a moderator on 300 Blackout named Gary, and he lives down in Harnett County, North Carolina. And he kind of was a pioneer. He started shooting deer with like a 208 AMAX. And what he was noticing, he was doing wet pack, not ballistic media. He was doing wet pack and roadkill. And he was relying on the bullet tumble. And he shot a nice buck in the neck and actually showed the track and showed the bullet damage and this and that. But we all know a bullet tumbling is not a reliable what am I trying to say? A reliable outcome, of a bullet. But
Right.
he was relying on that tumble and killed a lot of deer with it. And there were guys that would flame him and this is unethical. And I mean, his record on killing deer subsonic, he'd wait till they were inside of 50 yards, and it was like he was bow hunting, and that was his thing. And he was quite successful at it.
Here's a question, Gabriel.
Yeah, I just answered them. Dude, you're not watching my videos.
You can make anything subsonic.
Yeah, you sure can.
Just don't put enough powder in it.
Guy asked me if I could make a 223 subsonic for quiet hunting deer.
3.2 grains of tight group.
I did. And I said, why not use a 22?
Yeah, exactly.
Like that. And he went,
No.
I never thought about it that way. I was like, yeah, why not use a 22? I mean, it's the same bullet.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, a 22 rimfire will reliably open and expand, whereas this bullet you're having me shoot, or I think you had me shooting a VMAX, it's not expanded, not at that speed. So
This is off of Hodgdon's website. You take 3.5 grains of tight group and a 55 grain projectile in 223. It is subsonic. Matter of fact, I had to break the rifle down to make sure that the round came out of the barrel.
Yep.
I looked at my buddy and I went, it came out. And he goes, yeah, I see the target. You hit the target. I was like, that didn't even sound like it went off.
Yeah.
He said, you may be on to something. I said, I am not loading these for
The slight advantage with the
these,
223 subsonic would be that you could load a heavier bullet than a long rifle.
Yes.
You could probably get a 70 grainer or so going and stabilize. That'd be the only advantage really for a 223.
He had an older bolt action that didn't have the twist for it, so I was kind of stuck with lighter bullets.
Yeah.
I just told him, I said, dude, either rebarrel this gun or just shoot him with a 22 and pick your shot.
I've killed quite a few deer with a 22 Magnum.
Oh yeah.
Like my my K Hornet videos, subsonic K Hornet videos. That's a 65 grain NOE cast bullet, but it's a 1 in 9 twist in that Hornet.
Right.
It stabilizes it fine. It shoots on your pinky nail at 50 yards. It shoots really good.
K Hornet's a neat round. Reloadable 22 Magnum. That's what I call it.
Yep.
Jamie, I didn't know if you knew this. The 8.6, I believe, it's a 6.5 Creedmoor casing. And anyway, the same company, Q, they developed the 300 Blackout and the 8.6 Blackout for the military.
Well, Kevin Brittingham, who owns Q, He actually owned AAC
Yeah.
and got fired when Freedom Group took him over because Remington Corporate said, "What are you doing with all these machine guns in here?" He said, "Well, they're my machine guns." And he was like, they were like, "You can't have those in here." He said, "But they're mine. It's my company." They said, "No, not anymore. You sold out. You're fired." And
Yeah, comes up with the greatest names for guns, though: the sugar weasel, the honey badger.
that honey badger concept is that actually really came to fruition when they, and one of the times they legalized the pistol brace, and then they went after him again because they delegalized the pistol brace. Because he designed it as a short barrel rifle, but he was bringing it to the masses. Now PSA, y'all as consumers, y'all probably love Palmetto State Armory. I kind of cuss them in the industry. They're sort of a cuss word. They only make me money by transferring because they sell stuff so cheap. I can't beat the prices.
Yep.
And but they've got a copy of the honey badger. I forget what they call it, but a guy bought it. I never liked that. That hillbilly, what I'm talking about, that telescopic stock. You don't have a cheek on it, and I never liked that. It looked cool, but I think that's what it's called.
They've got a stock for it now that makes it look almost like a FN Star.
Oh, it looks like a boot.
Yeah,
it's interesting.
Yeah, pretty much.
They're about to come out with their first entry into long range precision rifles, bolt actions.
What, PSA?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, don't get me started.
Only thing I ever really liked about the guy is, when he came out, he said he was on a mission to put an AR-15 in every house in America.
That's it.
And
he's about damn done it.
They say you sit there and watch the 18-wheelers going out every day.
Yeah. Not only their guns, I mean, that
I've got
that Rossi Real Bravo lever action 22. I bought it. I got it through PSA. I mean, they had them on sale at one time that like you couldn't get them anywhere else. Man.
Yeah, probably below your gun dealer's cost. You know. It hurts. It hurts the small guy. But you just, hey, you know what? If it's a $350 gun, this is the way I look at it. I charge $30 for a transfer. Okay, I'm only making 11% profit on a brand new gun. So I've almost, I got 10% right there. So that's something, So I don't cuss them too much, but
you cuss them just enough.
Just enough.
All right, it's time for our verse of the week. Are y'all ready?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Justin out there talking about 300 Whisper, too. Yeah, that's
same thing.
Like out. Almost. Yep. Virtually identical. Not quite as much throat is the difference. It's not quite as
right.
Big heavy bullets aren't quite as easy to chamber or won't chamber in the Whisper like they will in the Blackout, but it'll shoot them. Just you got to seat them a little deeper.
Let me do this before we start. This is an article, if y'all are interested, from Chuck Hawk's 35 caliber family. Basically, it's a lot of what we've been talking about tonight. So if you're interested, you can go check that out after the show. Please don't leave until after the verse of the week, at least. We've been talking about Psalms chapter 2, and last week we covered verse 7 and reviewed the first 6 verses, verse 7 rather. And really, 7, 8, and 9 are all one thought. They're one quote. So let's start at verse 7, and then we'll get into 8 and 9. Verse 7 says, I will declare the decree. The Lord has said to me, you are my son. Today I have begotten you. Ask of me, and I will give you the nations for your inheritance, and the ends of the earth for your possession. Verse 9, you shall break them with a rod of iron. You shall dash them to pieces like a potter's vessel. Let's start up here in verse 8 and dig in a little bit. Y'all know that I usually like to read to y'all John MacArthur's study notes from my study Bible, but he doesn't have a note on verse 8 there. And why did that go away? It needs to stay up there. So verse 7 through 9 are basically the same thought. They're the same quote. Who's doing that?
Right below that, they have timers now. So you have to turn the timer off. You have to go to edit where you got that verse, and right below it, you'll see timer. You have to, it's usually a 10-second timer is default. So you have to turn the timer off.
I put them on off, those timers off when I created the banner.
You have to do it for each banner.
I did. I'm not even touching the computer, so it's not me.
Yeah, it's not me.
Man, I deleted verse 8.
Oh no.
Anyway, we'll just show verse 9 and I'll talk about verse 8. So like I said, verses 7 through 9 are basically the same thought. They're the same quote. In verse 7, God has declared the decree and told his son, he is my son. Today I have begotten you. Our Father's mind is made up. God the Father's mind is made up. It will happen. Son there can refer to King David, who wrote this passage of scripture under the divine inspiration of the Holy Spirit. It can mean Christ Jesus or the still to come to Messiah for our Jewish friends out there. As Christians, we believe he's talking about both King David and Christ Jesus. And our Jewish friends would apply that to David and the Messiah. So verse 8 again says, ask of me, and I will give you the nations for your inheritance, and the ends of the earth for your possession. So there again, many times in Scripture where God commands us to ask of me. So what are you asking God for this evening? Are you asking him for anything? Are you even talking to him? Or even worse, possibly, do we keep God in that genie bottle and only rub it when we're desperate for him to do something for us? I think that's where a lot of us get, and that's unacceptable. This is not how it should be. Look how God is pleading for a relationship with us. Not only his anointed, but each and every one of us. And yeah, this verse makes big promises. Read it again. Ask of me, I will give you the nations for your inheritance and the end of the earth for your possessions. These big promises are only big in our view. This serves to remind us of God's power, his might, his omnipotence, his love, and his mercy. See, what seems huge or impossible to us is a small thing for him. God promises the nations for your inheritance and the ends of the earth for your possession. And he's talking to his anointed and to his son. Verse 9 there. You shall break them with a rod of iron and dash them. Wait a minute, before we get to that. Something I've been thinking about all day, and I failed to write it down in my notes for this. Remember, we talked about, I mentioned, look how God's pleading for a relationship with you, is anointed. Many times in Scripture where God commands us, ask of me. I think of when after David was confronted by Nathan after his sin with Bathsheba, what did God say to him? How many wives have I already given you? And if how many more would I have given you if you had just asked? What David had, what, 7, 8, 9 wives and probably close to 20 kids, 25 kids. God wants to do things for us. We just got to get ourselves out of the way and let him do them. But again, this is a prophecy about how you stand on your beliefs. If you're Jewish, this is end times prophecy, really. Especially when we get to verse 9. Here again, the emphasis is on God's power, his might, his omnipotence, and his sovereignty. Also, remember, we're talking about the nations, quote unquote. These are not only countries of the world, but Gentiles. They're not Jewish. They're outside people that we're talking about. MacArthur's note here, MacArthur writes about verse 9. It says, listen to this. The supreme sovereignty of the King of Kings is pictured in its subjugating might. And I had to go look up what subjugating means. It means to bring under domination or control, especially by conquest. And that's exactly what he tells us in the prophets that Messiah will do at the end times in that big final showdown. Wait a minute, I didn't get finished up here. Man, I'm all over the place, guys. The Lord's anointed holds the nations as his inheritance. This is Guzik, David Guzik. And he will rule over all nations, and all judgment is committed to him. And David Guzik there references John 5:22, where Jesus says, the Father judges no one, but has committed all judgment to the Son. In other words, Jesus is saying, I'm the one that's going to be judging the nations. And this directly ties into this particular verse right here. So in verse 9, MacArthur's note there says, the supreme sovereignty of the King of Kings is pictured by subjugating might. The shepherd's rod and the king's scepter are the same word in the original, I guess it'd be Hebrew. Shepherding and the kingly imagery often merged in ancient Near Eastern thought. So what he's telling us here is the merging of the imagery of the shepherd and the king. The king, like the pastors of our churches, are to shepherd the flock, just like the pastors. That shepherd loves us, nourishes us, protects us, even unto death, his sheep. And the reason he does this is because sheep need all of that. Think about us. Think about the way we are sometimes. And then the key thought here is Guzik references Revelation 11:15, describes the exciting consummation of this inheritance. Then the seventh angel sounded, and there were loud voices in heaven saying, "The kingdoms of this world have become the kingdoms of our Lord and his Christ, and he shall reign forever and ever. You shall break them with a rod of iron. The Lord's anointed has such power over the nations that they are like pots of clay that he can shatter with a blow from a rod of iron. He shows why it is so foolish. This shows why it is so foolish for the nations to defy the Lord and his anointed. There is no reason and no benefit of their defiant opposition." And remember, there we're talking about nations, rulers, powerful people over powerful nations, and they're just going to be like when this comes to fruition, when Messiah reigns over the whole world, it's going to be like Bill Murray in Caddyshack, Cinderella story. He was a caddy here last year.
Kid from nowhere.
From nowhere. All right, he's lining up over it, and he's got about 525 yards. He's going to hit a 100. What? Oh. I got
It's
that.
in the hole.
It's in the hole.
It's in the hole.
It's in the hole. Anyway, that's our verse of the week. I'm sorry I was so scattered and jumping to and fro. I'll do better next week because hopefully I'll feel better, be able to think a little bit better. And I appreciate all of y'all putting up with me this evening with this cold going on. Questions or comments about the verse of the week?
Makes you think. And everybody since the beginning of time is saying it's going to be the end times. I'm seeing all the signs. Well, you'll always see all the signs because we're human beings. We act like jackasses. Don't you think?
The Bible speaks of two thrones. One is the Bema seat, the great white throne judgment. That will be where ungodly people are judged. Thanks, Glenn. I appreciate you. What are y'all fussing about over there?
I didn't do it.
What, in the side chat?
Yeah, they're fussing about white label, some kind of bullet lube, I think.
Oh, good Lord. I'm not going to even look.
Beeswax, Vaseline, and 30 weight.
Hey, if it works, it works. What is
They're six shooter Texan.
I can't remember his channel name. 45.
Sounds like a jelly roll song.
Hickok.
No, not Hickok. Lives out in
Jeremy? Jeremy?
5110. That's
the
it.
the everything's always hot. From the hot pot. Not a hot pot. Jesus. Good
From
Lord.
From the hot pot, Jesus, good Lord.
Steve.
Yes, what is his channel name? See, you can't think of it either.
I could till you brought it up.
I still don't know what you're talking about.
45 long cold.
Elmer
45.
Keith.
Fortune cookie.
Fortune
45
cookie 45. Thank you. His 45 10 was Alox and floor wax and something else. I can't remember what the 10 was, but he used that Minwax floor wax and Lee liquid Alox and 10% something.
30 weight oil, what Walk said. I don't know what Jelly Roll song you're talking about, 6 you were texting. I wish you was on here so you could sing a little bit of it for us.
I'll play guitar.
I'm sorry.
Beeswax and lamb tallow. Wow.
I don't know much country unless it's
Yeah, that does sound like a Jelly Roll song, don't it?
Yeah, Johnson's Pace Wax.
Another thing Fortune Cookie used to use is those wax toilet seal rings.
Yep.
Hopefully the new ones, not the used ones.
Oh,
Well, if you want to be actually honest, even if they are used, they shouldn't be exposed to anything.
Kyle, I've changed a lot of toilets.
I'm just saying.
At the point you're having to replace them, they've been exposed.
They've been exposed. Yeah. It's a deadly weapon. If they don't dive the shot, they'll dive.
In a perfect world, they should not be exposed. But then again, that's what causes them to fail.
That's right.
Right now, the way things are going, I think all bullet lube ought to be made out of lard.
Well, we've seen people use bacon grease as bullet lube.
There you go. It don't matter what part of the pig, just so it's from a pig.
I used to use lard when I went on my quest to make my grandma's biscuits. I started using lard, and it just wasn't the same thing. And then I started using cold butter, and I found my grandma's biscuits. And so I used to sit up side of her and make biscuits, but I couldn't remember what she used.
She couldn't either.
She could.
She's like my grandmother. She just started mixing stuff together until it felt right.
Well, I do that. I do that now, Cal. I just okay. That's right. That's what Grandma. Yeah.
Yep. Cook it.
Well, you can look at it like this: lard's great for bacon, but which one would you want to eat a spoonful of, butter or lard?
Yeah, butter.
I'm not eating a spoonful of lard.
I might.
Boys.
Papa, I can't remember what. I don't think it's 125 grain that I'm loading in my 38s.
158. I talked to a boy today to load some 38s, super hot. I forget what powder he used, but they were getting up toward bumping the bottom of 357 Magnum. I was like, you better not shoot them in a Classic Smith.
I don't know why, man. Them boys blew up a lot of Model 10s getting that 357 right.
I tell everybody, if you want a Corvette, buy a Smith. If you want a tank, buy a Ruger. I love Smith revolvers.
Well, we've had this discussion off and on here, and we probably shouldn't get into it today, but the reason Rugers are tanks is because they have to be.
That's right.
They're cast, investment cast, and they are not forged, so therefore they
Really
ever been.
That was Bill Ruger. Bill Ruger's genius. He investment cast everything.
Yeah, shade tree castings.
And does it better than anybody anywhere.
Cast for most
anything.
manufacturers. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot goes into the lost wax casting or investment casting. I mean, there's a lot of control that has to be put in place for it to come out right.
But I that's why I bought that Super Red Hawk. I said, why would anyone build a gun that's that ugly and can stand any damn thing? I mean, they pretty much use the same thing for 54 Casull, 44 Magnum, 480 Ruger, which is a lost cartridge. Some of our listeners might not even know what a 480 Ruger is.
It's a shame because it's a nice.
It is. It
nice
really
caliber.
is. But but until the Smith & Wesson came out with the X frame, that was it, man. That was the big gun.
Walks, please. That's an old wives' tale.
What do you think is a wives' tale, Raj?
The Rugers are cast invested. He says it started by Colt.
He's got to know that it's fact. I mean, it's not a mystery.
They're proud of it. I mean,
it's fact. It's the way it is.
They make
Shade Tree Castings is a huge industry caster for many manufacturers.
Yeah.
Oh no, Walter.
Uh-oh.
What'd you do to it? Me and Tex the same time. What'd you do?
How in the heck you break a Super Red Hawk?
Moldy Monday went wrong, I guess.
Yeah. You didn't crack out the blue dot again, did you? He had some spicy loads in the 41 mag blue dot.
I tell you what, Jamie, I told somebody today, we were talking about 44 Special. I said, I wish somebody besides Charter Arms would chamber a revolver and 44 Special. VO says, I think the hand is screwed. Is that his hand or the hand?
The revolver.
Okay. Yeah.
Absolutely, Gabriel. Ruger does casting better than anybody.
Yep.
Yeah,
they're proud of it.
How the heck do you break a Super Red Hawk?
In any industry.
I'll tell you what, I've shot some pretty hefty rounds through my Red Hawk and 44, and it doesn't even flinch. I flinch more than it does.
That's fact. The cylinder hand.
Jamie, I was going to get my Super Red Hawk to show it, but I decided not to. It just might be, I'm not selling it or anything. I just want to show an example. Is that okay or not?
We can't show a hand.
That's what I thought. That's why I came back.
Yeah, if you can't show anything, you can't show any guns on the live stream.
We can show pictures of guns.
You can show pictures and you can have it set up and the camera can look at it, but you can't touch it.
Right.
But you're better off not even showing it, then there's no problems. Just show pictures from the internet. That's okay.
Here's the thing.
Well, there's a lot of young people that maybe don't, because Super Red Hawks have gone out of that affordability thing, and Red Hawks, they might not know what such a tank of a pistol it is. I mean, even a GP 100 is a tank, but the Super Red Hawk's a super tank. It's the M1 Abrams, you know.
And Ozzy sitting there with his SB 101 next to him. You get a gun that size. You get a gun that size with a 3-inch barrel, or even the GP 100 like CW recently acquired. Those are.
But I was telling the guy I got to shoot a Ruger Blackhawk and 44 Special. I said, just 44 Special. I said, my God. I said, if I didn't know the man so good, I would have offered him a price for it. But I know he ain't ever going to sell it. And guy said, "Well, I don't blame him." I said, "Yeah, it's."
I guess Gary got his show taken down once, sharing a picture of somebody holding a pistol in their hand. The AI thought it was live, and they took his show down.
Yeah. So if you guys are out there watching, and you got something that y'all want us to show, if you'll send us pictures to my JH586SW email, we'll show them on the air. But you can't have no hands around them. Don't be touching them or nothing like that. Just a gun on the. And while we're on here, golly, y'all, we're late. We got to get off the air. We got to clear the deck for Kentucky Rimfire, so we're gonna have to quickly go through. But what do y'all want to talk about next week? How about 40 caliber?
There you go.
That'll work.
Might as well just keep going up.
40 and 41 next week. So if you've got something in 40 or 41 that you want to show, yeah, send us some pictures in at jh586sw at gmail.com. All right. Go for it, Hillbilly. I know you got to get over there and show Kentucky Rimfire what buttons to push and all that mess.
Oh, man. Just been doing some indoor videos. That's been about it. We got Guns, Beer, and Therapy coming up tomorrow night, 9 o'clock Central, 10 o'clock Eastern. You ain't doing nothing, swing by and visit us. And anyway, yeah, I just got actually been messing with a few BB guns indoors and, a few things like that. So, yeah, thanks for having me on. I always enjoy this show. Appreciate y'all. Great side chat and panel as always.
Well, we appreciate you, my brother. Kyle, you want to go next?
Sure, I'm quick and easy. Looking forward to 40s. I don't have a whole lot of experience with 41s. Actually, none. But I'm fairly vested in 40. So, yeah, that'll be fun next week. Looking forward to it. I ain't really got anything coming up. Just going to work and trying to stay warm. All right, Bama, what's up?
I ain't got a whole lot. I just redoing the reloading room, getting some stuff done out there. Trying to finish up my drill press, and that's about all. Not a whole lot of exciting things to say. But other than that, I don't know. Hillbilly, how about you?
Mike.
I was on mute. I already went. So, CW. All right.
Mike, go to Rebel.
A Rebel. I didn't know who was next.
Just getting ready for the Snowmageddon. Hopefully it won't be nothing, but I'll good Lord, what was that? I'll send pictures out. I might look like Jeremiah Johnson, only it'll be squirrel. It'll be squirrels, not grizz. Can you see squirrels, Pilgrim? Fast as you can bring them. So, CW, go ahead.
I got 4 videos coming. I got one that's posted right after this show. And I've got one on Monday, one on Wednesday, and one on Friday, I believe, next week. So look forward to those. More 44 special stuff and some more 1022 stuff. And a wild card after the show tonight. So hope you all enjoy those. Hope you all tune in. And thanks for being here. Thanks for hanging out. Really good conversations tonight. And Jamie, over to you.
We want to thank all you guys on the panel, especially all you guys been out there watching. If you made it to the end, you're probably better than me. We'll leave y'all with this. The Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord make his face shine upon you and be gracious to to you. The Lord lift up his countenance upon you and give you peace. We love you and there ain't nothing you can do about it. If the Lord's willing, we'll see y'all next Friday night at 8 o'clock. Say good night, y'all.
God bless.